Eternal God, maker of all things and keeper of my soul, before you I bow, trembling yet hopeful, for you are the one who never leaves a story unfinished. The ink of your mercy flows through every chapter of my life, even the ones I have tried to tear out. You have seen my nights of silence, the pages soaked with tears that no one else could see. You have watched me sit in the ruins of what once was, believing that everything had ended, believing that the book of my life had closed forever. Yet in the stillness of my despair, I hear your voice, quiet but unshakable, reminding me that it is not over, that you are still writing, that the pen of grace has not fallen from your hand. There are moments, Lord, when I forget that you are the author. I look at the shattered sentences of my past and wonder if they can ever make sense again. The pain, the loss, the unanswered prayers, they all blur together like ink spilled across a page. But even there in the chaos, you are working. Even when I cannot read the meaning, you are writing redemption between the lines. You take my confusion and turn it into revelation. You take my broken grammar of faith and form it into poetry that glorifies your name. For you, O God, are the storyteller of resurrection, the one who takes what is dead and calls it alive again. The night is long, and my heart has often trembled beneath its weight. I've cried out in darkness, asking if the dawn will ever come. But you, Lord, remind me through the whisper of Psalm 35 that weeping may endure for the night, but joy, divine, unbreakable joy, comes in the morning. And even when the night refuses to release its hold, I cling to that promise like a lifeline. Because I know that morning will come, not because I deserve it, but because you have ordained it. The sun rises not by my command, but by yours. And just as you command the light to break through the darkness, so will you command new life to break through my sorrow. Every tear has meaning to you, every ache, every wound, every silent prayer. You gather them all in the palm of your hand. You are not distant. You are near to the crushed in spirit. When I fall, you do not abandon me in the dust. You kneel beside me and breathe your spirit into my weakness. And somehow, what was broken begins to breathe again. What was dying begins to stir. What I thought was the end becomes the very place where your story begins anew. Lord, how beautiful is the way you redeem. You take the stones of disappointment and build altars of praise. You take the ashes of my failures and form the soil of miracles. The enemy thought he had written my ending, but you, with one word, rewrote the entire script. You turned shame into strength, tragedy into testimony, silence into song. Every moment I thought was lost, you have reclaimed. Every scar has become a mark of your mercy. I confess, there are days when my faith grows faint, when I cannot see what you are doing, when your plans remain hidden behind the veil of mystery. Yet even then, I choose to trust that you are weaving something greater than I can understand. Your hands are never idle. Your timing is never wrong. Though I stand in the middle of the story, unable to see the conclusion, I know the author's heart. And that is enough. You are good, even when I cannot see good. You are faithful, even when my strength has failed. You are sovereign, even when the world feels like chaos. You are the God who raised Joseph from prison to purpose, who called Moses from exile to deliverance, who lifted David from the field to the throne. You are the same God who called Lazarus out of the tomb, who spoke light into the void, who turned the cross, the cruelest symbol of pain, into the greatest victory in history. And so I know that you can breathe new life into me too. The pages I thought were ruined, you can rewrite. The chapters I thought were wasted, you can redeem. The story I thought was over, you can make beautiful again. The night may be long, but it cannot last forever. You have decreed that morning will come, and when it does, I will see that you were there all along, in every tear, in every silence, in every page that I thought was blank. You were writing when I could not see the ink. You were speaking when I could not hear the words. You were holding me when I thought I had been left alone. God, I surrender my unfinished story into your hands. I release my need to understand the why and the when. I place my trust not in the plot, but in the author. If you have brought me this far, you will not abandon me now. If you have begun this good work, you will be faithful to complete it. Right, Lord, right through my weakness, right through my waiting, right through my worship. Let your grace fill every sentence, and let your name be the signature at the end of every page. And when the world tells me to give up, I will remember that you never stop creating. You never stop redeeming. You never stop writing stories of resurrection. The enemy may have tried to silence the narrative, but you have already spoken the final word, and that word is life. What was meant to destroy me will become the very thing that displays your glory. The weapon formed against me will become the tool that builds the altar of my praise. The storm that sought to drown me will become the river that carries me closer to you, so I will hold on. I will stand in the middle of the page, even when I do not understand what comes next. I will believe that you are still writing. I will rest in the truth that no pen moves with more love, no hand writes with more purpose, no author redeems with more grace. My story is not over, because the author of eternity is still at work. The darkness will not define me. The pain will not have the final word. The last chapter belongs to you, and it will end in light. You are not finished, Lord. You never are. And so I bow before you in trust, in worship, in surrender, knowing that the best part of my story is still being written by the one who writes all things well. Amen.